Joining me to discuss the latest UK economic data releases, including UK unemployment figures, inflation data and Bank of England minutes, is Martin Lykke, CEO at NPFOREX. Hello Martin. The UK unemployment rate now stands at 7.9% and the number of Britons claiming unemployment benefits fell unexpectedly by 4,000 in September, official data shows today. What do you make of this data?
Well, the data is clearly positive for the British economy, and I think it's a bit surprising that jobless claims fell with 4,000 people. The figures for July was probably affected by the fact that the Olympics was held in London. But I think it's a bit of positive data for the British economy, and of course the sterling has had some strength after the data, so it has risen against the dollar and the euro. But, you know, one shouldn't forget that the unemployment figures, they are still high in UK, and if you look at the data, a lot of people, they are suddenly self-employed, and is that real employment or isn't it? So if you look deeper into the data, then maybe the situation isn't as good as the figures tells you when you see them. But clearly this is a positive sign for the British economy.
Bank of England policymakers are split over whether they are likely to need to buy more government debt and if it will help the economy much if they do. The Monetary Policy Committee voted to maintain quantitative easing asset purchases at a total of £375 billion and kept interest rates at 0.5%. What are your thoughts on this, Martin?
Well, I think, they are in a really tough situation right now because in my mind the British economy clearly needs more stimulus programs, and I think 375 billion is not enough. And I think when they meet next time, I think it is in beginning of November, 7th and 8th of November, I think that they will have a difficult time deciding whether to add to their stimulus program or not. I am in favor of adding to that stimulus program because I think that the British economy is still in a very tough situation, and I think it needs more help. Even though that the jobless claims and unemployment figures, they were good today, I think that the British economy needs more help to expand.
And the UK September Consumer Price Index figure came in flat at 2.2%. What do you think this says about the UK economy, especially as it remains in a double-dip recession?
Well, it's a positive sign for British households and British consumers that the inflation was falling to 2.2 in September from 2.5 in August. But in October, it will be up again because there's a rise in gas prices, energy prices, and in university fees. So October will show some higher figures. And then, of course, it's the background, is it a healthy inflation or not? And at this moment, it's not healthy because it's especially about energy prices that are rising. And, that's imported inflation, and that is not good for an economy. So I think that it shows that it's still tough times for the British economy because the inflation is imported.
And what measures and strategies could the UK government implement to bring the UK out of recession?
Well, to get it out of recession, that would mean that government should spend more money, and then it will probably be out of recession quite soon. But I don't think that would be the right cure for the British economy. I think that the British government is doing the right thing at the moment. They shouldn't overspend, but instead they should look at structural problems in the British economy. I think that there are a lot of structural problems, given the fact that the export industry in UK is not very strong. Yesterday I was at a lecture chaired by the former British Foreign Minister David Miliband, And it was about China and the fact that the UK is not exporting to China, it's not exporting to Brazil, it's not exporting to countries with high growth. But, they are still exporting more to Ireland than to China and Brazil. So I think that the British economy should focus more on export to economies with higher growth. And I think that the British government should support such measures. And, of course, in that respect, it is a problem that today there are some good figures out, and then sterling suddenly rises, and sterling is, in my opinion, too strong for the British economy and too strong for the export industry in the UK. So I actually think that the British government should look at how to maybe get a bit weaker sterling. And then I know it will give more inflation in UK, but, maybe that's something that you should accept. Will be a fact that it will give high inflation, but I think that's one thing that you should just realize will happen. I think that the economy needs a weaker sterling.
Thanks for joining me, Martin. Well, that's all we've got time for right now. Stay tuned to Dukascopy TV for more updates and interviews. For now, though, goodbye.